right now at 6. A real solution or security theater? The new tech being tested to keep high school football spectators safe.
Plus, Portland parents brace for a strike.
They did not enjoy Zoom school, and they would enjoy not being in school even less.
Why tonight could take teachers one step closer to the picket line.
Then, slowing the exodus.
It can be costly to live and do business here in the city of Portland, and we're trying to get that balance right.
The new move to keep businesses and workers in the heart of the city.
And shark rescue on the Oregon coast. How a couple stepped up to quickly get this guy back out to sea. Hello, everyone. On this Friday, thank you for joining us. I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm David Molko, and we begin with breaking news on that potential teacher strike in Oregon's largest school district. The union representing Portland teachers has just declared an impasse, calling the current state of negotiations frustrating and fruitless.
So let's go right to Thomas Schultz in the newsroom. Thomas, first, what exactly does this impasse mean?
Laurel and David, the impasse basically sets the stage for a strike down the line, and we just got word, and here's their actual impasse declaration. If an agreement is not reached, teachers could strike as soon as late October, and so far, there hasn't been much common ground. In their statement, the teachers union says they haven't seen meaningful movement from the district on their most important issues. They don't expect to see much in their next proposal either. Portland Public Schools says they're disappointed and say the union did not submit a counter proposal before declaring the impasse. Both sides seem to believe the other hasn't moved much in their demands, and the standoff continues to worry parents.
We know at the end of the day, the group that will be most affected are the students.
A third and for now final mediation session took place Friday between Portland Public Schools and its teachers union. If an agreement isn't reached, a strike could happen as soon as late October. That would force the district to close schools. Sports, childcare, clubs, and support for college applications could be affected too.
Getting your applications done for college means teachers helping you in some cases with recommendation letters.
Eric Happel has two Lincoln High students. He's concerned his child, who's a senior, will be most affected after already dealing with Zoom school for a large chunk of high school.
Anything short of keeping kids in school 5 days a week for me is unacceptable.
The two sides have been bargaining since January. Since then, PPS has raised its offer for teacher wages. The latest offer is a 10.3% raise over the next 3 years. New teachers would receive an initial 3.4% bump. That's an increase from PPS's initial offer, which raised salaries by 2.5% each year. Portland Public Schools says their offer would make its teachers the highest paid in the metro area.
The solution cannot be going on strike. They have to find another way to continue to bargain and find a path forward.
Though teachers say the offer isn't good enough. They say it doesn't keep up with rises in cost of living. A study by the National Council on Teacher Quality, a nonprofit research group, found on average new Portland teachers spend 42% of their salary on a one-bedroom apartment. That's the second highest amount in the country, only behind San Francisco.
What they are asking for is reasonable to make sure that the kids are getting what they need to thrive in the classroom.
The union's proposal is an 8.5% salary increase in the first year, 7% the next, and 6% in the final year of the contract. That offer hasn't changed since bargaining began. PPS says the raises, along with jobs added by the union's proposal, is too expensive. They claim additional expenses would near $100 million. The union disputes those numbers. But whatever the holdups, parents hope they're resolved soon.
I refuse to believe that the only path to get what you want is to stop working. Like that just to me does not, in this day and age, make sense, and particularly
Both sides have reiterated that they don't want to strike, and the next step is what they call a 30-day cooling off period, and during that time they will negotiate in October. We'll keep you updated on where it goes from here. David, Laurel.
Thank you, Thomas. Really appreciate the update there on the breaking news. Well, let's take you outside on this Friday evening now, where it is a stunning 94 degrees over the Rose City with, you know what, Laurel, Nothing but blue skies and sunshine as we head into the final weekend of summer.
So let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino for the first look at your first forecast. Boy, Matt, last weekend of summer, how's it looking?
It's behaving quite well, just like summer should, right? In fact, maybe overachieving a little bit with that 94 degrees, which amazingly is not a record for this state. Today's record is 96, okay? That was back in 1981. So I looked at the record books. There's only been 4 days in Portland's recorded weather history, which starts in 1938. Only 4 days from September 15th on that have been hotter than this. Hotter than 94 degrees. So we're kind of in rare air with that temperature, even though it was not a record for the day. 90s up and down the I-5 corridor. In fact, we had triple digits in Medford with 100 there, 92 in the Dalles and over in Pendleton as well. Now, the warm weather is going to back off tomorrow, which is good because a lot of people will be attending both the Duck game and the Beaver game. Both are at home in the Valley tomorrow. So here's your forecast for both games. First of all, the Beavers, because they kick off first at 12:30, about 77 at the kick. But by the time the game is ending later in the afternoon, about 86 degrees. Reverse orientation there for the Ducks because they kick off at 5 o'clock. That'll be the hottest part of the day in the game, about 86, and then dropping into the 70s by the time things are winding down later in the evening. But it'll be clear all day long. So if you're going down the valley for either game, it's going to be great weather. Make sure you hydrate. Also, Oregon State Police is advising drivers that they will have extra patrols out, keeping an eye on traffic. There's going to be a lot of people going up and down I-5 to the games. Okay, on the satellite division, we've got smoke to talk about too. The fires have been really kind of quiet lately with the cooler and more humid weather we've had, but with the hot, dry conditions, we're seeing the Smith River complex really throw up a lot of smoke, and the fires in Central Oregon producing some smoke as well, so it may get a bit hazy. So the headlines shape up like this. Sunny Saturday, mid to upper 80s, so we stay out of the 90s. On Sunday, we get some scattered clouds, so cloud, sun, and highs will be in the 70s, so a lot more comfortable there. And then next week looks mainly dry. There's a chance of some showers on Wednesday. We'll dig into that. And of course, the latest on Hurricane Lee, which will finally make landfall in North America this weekend. All of that in a bit. Laurel, David.
Thank you, Matt. And we're going to continue to talk about the fire and the smoke and the heat in our headlines. For the first time in more than a week, we're seeing a large smoke plume from the Camp Creek fire near Bull Run. The fire's been smoldering in very thick underbrush northeast of Sandy, but with today's warm up and a little wind, it really kicked up and got going around 3 o'clock this afternoon. It's burned just over 2,000 acres and is 44% contained. Portland's drinking water from Bull Run continues to be safe, according to the city.
Definitely going to keep an eye on that one. A reminder this evening from Tualatin Valley Fire District that with our hot and dry weather, a burn ban remains in effect. The fire marshal says in recent weeks they have seen an increase in outdoor fires and illegal debris burning. All backyard burns, ag burns, and slash pile burns, they are still prohibited. The ban was issued in June for portions of Washington, Clackamas, Yamhill, and Multnomah counties.
Oregon is getting some $23 million in federal funding to plant and maintain trees to combat climate change and improve public green spaces. Most of the funds are going to the Oregon Department of Forestry, with $1 million going to the city of Salem. Congresswoman Andrea Salinas called the investments crucial.
We are, obviously providing immediate relief in terms of cooler temperatures, better air quality to our community. But in the longer term, we're addressing what I call this existential climate crisis.
Some research suggests having more trees in communities can improve physical health, lower average temperatures during extreme heat, and create economic opportunity.
Thousands of students walking out of school across Oregon today demanding action on climate change. They want Governor Tina Kotek to declare a statewide climate emergency. This is now the 5th youth climate strike in Portland, with young people expressing both anger and fear for their futures, with hope, they say, they can spark action.
I see young people all around me, and even adults as well, who care about these issues and want to make a stance and want change.
Meanwhile, activists asked the state to deny an air quality permit to a company that transports oil and gas through the city. Happening right now, Friday night football is underway with Lincoln and McDaniel kicking off a game in Northeast Portland.
And the spectators made their way to the stands. They were asked to walk through something brand new, all in the name of security. Catherine Cook joins us at McDaniel High to show us how this works. Catherine?
Laurel, they're called open gate pillars, and simply put, they're designed to detect weapons, firearms in particular. And you can see the big crowd out here. Every one of these students' parents have walked through. They tell us it's pretty easy. If the system detects weapons, it'll trigger alarms to alert security staff. This is the first time PPS has used the system. It's part of a larger effort to address gun violence after 4 shootings outside PPS schools last year. Last spring, the district made several safety recommendations, and one of them was testing out a system like this.
Well, what we hope happens first is that people know we're doing it as a deterrent. So that's probably the bigger thing that we hope to have happen. We hope no one ever comes with a weapon and we have to deal with that. But in the event that it does, not unlike any other large-scale event, you know, if it goes off, they take you to the side, then they check for whatever that is, and then they handle that. We have protocols where they handle that.
Back live out here at McDaniel, district officials tell us this is really just a test. Each of these units cost about $17,000, but this is on a free loan. After today, it'll get shipped back to the company, and the district will come together and discuss how things went and whether or not they want to go through with an actual pilot program. David?
Yeah, interesting to watch it in action for the first time. Catherine, if it does go to a pilot program and all continues to go well, what happens then?
Well, at that point, they would take their findings to the board and discuss how they could potentially make this happen. But again, we're just in the testing phase. Something that they're really hoping to find tonight is feedback, whether positive or negative, from both students and parents. They want to hear from them, and certainly we'll be talking to them as well, and we'll hear from some at 11 tonight. Back to you.
Catherine Cook in Northeast Portland. Thanks so much, Catherine. I want to tell you about a World War II veteran who finally got some long-deserved recognition, very long, for his service and sacrifice.
First Lieutenant Malcolm Champagne is 102 years old, so the Purple Heart and Prisoner of War medals he received today are about 8 decades overdue. But for Malcolm, who everyone calls Mac, today was the perfect day for it. This is National POW and MIA Recognition Day, so it was fitting to have the ceremony at his Portland Senior Living Center today. Family and friends gathered to honor the veteran who survived his B-12 bomber being shot down and nearly 2 years in a German prisoner of war camp.
Well, I'm flattered. I really am. And I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. But I always think about the guys that didn't make it.
And he is so humble, too. Malcolm thanks his family and staff at the Portland VA who made this day happen, and we thank him for his service.
We certainly do. Beautiful to watch that happen.
You're watching KGW News, and coming up,